Good morning and welcome to another beginning keyboard class. I'd like to begin by going just a little bit of review. We're going to go back to page 37 for Marianne, and what we're dealing with here now is the G7 chord for the right hand. So looking at your right hand, you've got your C major chord, which is C, E, G, or 1, 3, 5, and your G7 goes, your number one finger, or your thumb, number one, is going to go down to B, and then 4 is F, and 5 is G. So, right, so C, E, G, B, F, G for G7. So I want to go back and just review the Marianne. So let's begin with the counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, on that last two measures there, you see the line that goes over, so you just hold that for 6 beats, okay? So, down to the next one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So, again, so it's just the fingering, just going to check it once again to make sure you've got it. So it's 3, 1, 5, 3, 3, 4, 2. You're holding that. 4, 2, 5, 4, 4, 5, 3. 3, 3, 1, 1, 5, 3, 3, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 2, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5. So you should have that. So this is a quick review. So again, so then it's like, in terms of reading the notes, it's E, G, C, E, E, D, F, and then your G7 chord. So that's 1, 4, 5, right? And then 4, D, F, F, B, D, D, C, E, and then your C chord, which is 1, 3, 5, right? And then E, E, G, G, C, E, 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 D, F, and then your G7, 1, 4, 5, and then D, F, F, B, D, D, C, C, and then, okay, so it sounds like, okay, so that's just a little review of what we did. So now we're going over to page 38, and what we have is a little exercise for you to name or put the letter name of the key. For example, in the middle of the page there, your first, now you're using your, this is in the bass clef, so your 5, 3, 1, of course, is C, right? And then your 5, 2, 1 is your G7. So you want to put, write your chords in there, and then again for C, and then so G7 and C, right? So on the second line, you've got a G7, a C, a G7, and a C. And then down below, C, G7, and C. So this is good practice in terms of moving from C to G7 to C. So, and then going over to the right hand, basically the same thing. So if we want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then rest 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's the same. That's a C, that's a G7, right? 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5, and then so rest, you got a quarter rest and a half rest. So G7 and C. Okay, so from the top line you've got C, G7C, G7C. In the second line you've got G7, C, G7, and C. Okay, so then down below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go on to, we've been dealing with the 4/4 time signature. So 4 beats to a measure, and a quarter note gets 1 beat. So now we have a new time signature, which is 3/4 time, which is each measure gets 3 beats. So, and we're going to add a new note. So you've got your quarter note. That is 1 beat. You know about the half note. That's 2 beats. And now you have a dotted half note, which is 3 beats. So if you're looking at the counting here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, looking at the left hand, you've got 5, 3, 1, or C, E, G. And then in the right hand, in the second measure, you have 1, 3, 5, C, E, G. In the third measure, you have your G7, which is 5, 2, 1, or B, F, G, and then F, E, D, right? So, and then your C and your C chord. And then you have a quarter rest, so that's going to be 2 beats, 1, 2, because you've got half notes there. So going down to the second, you have 5, 3, 1. Again, it's C, E, G. And then the fingering for the second measure is 1, 3, 5, right? So C, E, G. And then again, so you've got F, E, D. and then B, F, G, right? And then the last measure is a C chord they're all dotted half notes, so it gets 3 beats, okay? So 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So one of the exercises here that they want you to do is, okay, the first time, play it as it is, so. Next time they want your right hand to go up an octave, so you get a little experience moving your hand up the keyboard. So it's going to be, so the first line is going to be the same. The second line, your right hand is going to be up an octave. So. And so after you do that a couple of times, then they're going to have you move up. I'm going to be out of the position here probably, but then you go up again. You're going up one with your left hand and up another one with your right hand. So. So that's just good exercise to begin moving up and down the keyboard. So now we're looking at the 3/4 time again for the first time. So in your first exercise there at the top of page 41, you're numbering the each note, how many beats does it get? So in the first measure, of course, you have quarter notes, you have 3 quarter notes, so each note gets 1 count, right? 1 beat. And in the second measure, the first quarter note gets 1 and the half note gets 2. Same in the third, your half note gets 2 and your quarter note gets 1. And then with your dotted half note, in the last measure, that gets 3 beats. And then they have a little exercise below, and so you're going to add, you know, the notes that you have to determine. So the first one is equal, 2 quarter notes is equal to a half. In the second one, you have a dotted quarter note and a quarter note, so that's equal to a whole note. And then 2 half notes is also equal to a whole note. And then you have a quarter note and a half note. That's equal to a dotted half note. Again, your quarter note and a dotted half note is equal to a whole note. And then finally, your half note and your quarter note is a dotted half note. Okay, so the next one, and this will be challenging at times because this particular keyboard doesn't give you a soft or a loud or a moderate loud tone, but it's important for you to know. And so here for the first time, they're giving you F forte for loud, MF, mezzo forte for moderately loud, and P for piano, which is soft. And that's where piano gets its name, because of its ability to give you a soft sound. So in the exercise down below, they want you to write in the time signatures. So you have 2 different ones. So I'm going to let you do that, and then we'll review that next time and see how you're doing, because basically this is what we've been doing in this lesson this morning, so it should be easy enough for you. The only difference would be you have your time signature, which is either going to be a 3/4 time or a 4/4 time. So let's move on to page 42. And this is the first opportunity that we have for a slur. A slur is a curved line over or under a note on different lines or spaces. So they give you the fact that it should be played smoothly and connected, right? So a slur often divides the music into phrases, and a phrase is a musical thought or a sentence. So what we have here on this next little tune, which is called What Can I Share? So we're going to begin by counting. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 as far as the bass goes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then as you see above in the treble clef, you have in the second, third, and fourth measure, you have quarter rests, so 2 beats up there, but basically we're dealing with 3/4 time, so each measure needs to get 3 beats. And in the first measure, up above in the treble clef, you have a whole rest, okay? So then in your second line, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you see they've switched. The melody is now in the treble clef where it was in the bass clef before. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then here, your last 2 measures are connected, so you just hold that. So in terms of the fingering, looking at the bass clef, you've got 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, okay, and then in the treble clef you've got your C, 5, 3, 1, you've got your G7, which is B, F, G, and then back to C. So remember, when the chord is stacked like that, then you put the numbers alongside. So going down to the next line, so 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 5. And then in the treble clef is C, G7, C. So the number is just the same as above for the chords. So now in the third line, beginning in your treble clef, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and then in the bass clef, C, G7, and C. And then in the last line, it's 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1. And you hold that for how many beats? 6 beats, that's right. Okay, and then C, G7. Okay, so then it would be E, F, G, C, and then your C chord, D, E, E, F, G, C, D, C. And then in your third line, E, F, G, C, D, E, E, F, G, C, D, C. So basically, you just have your C chord and your G7 chord, right? So then basically, playing the whole thing basically sounds like this. And it says, so a lot of times you'll see right above the first measure there how they want it played. Now, you have artistic license, you can play it any way you want, but in this case, and in the beginning, let's play it the way they would like. And so moderately slow, well, moderate, what does moderate mean? So that's an interpretation, but we'll slow it down a little bit, okay? So. So basically that's what it sounds like. So, okay, so let's go to the next one. Day is done. So now they want you to draw a slur over, it would be in so you have an example above in the first line. So they want you to draw a slur in the second line. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So again, you have a place for your chords. So you know what they are. They're just the two chords. Either it's a G7 or it's a C. So that shouldn't be difficult for you. So as far as fingering goes, they give you the first. So that's G, E, G, E, F, D, E, G, E, G, E, F, D, C. And of course, you've got your first chord is G7, and then C, G7, and C. So, so the numbering, I missed the numbering. So 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3. The second line, 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. And then the chords, you know the numbering on the chord. You should know the numbering on the chords by now. So then it goes. So now down below, they give you the difference between a slur and a tie. A slur is the connecting line between two different notes, whereas a tie is the same note. And so when you have a tie, you hold that note, and when you have a slur, you play it. So down below is an exercise I'll let you do that either you write in either it's a tie or a slur. So as long as you remember that a tie, it ties two of the same notes together, whereas slur ties two different notes together. And so now we're going to a very interesting piece as we learn a new chord, and that is the F major chord. Now the interesting thing here is looking at your left hand. So this is a C, C, E, G, right? And then your F chord is F, A, C. But when you're down here with the C chord, it's much easier to do it like this. Because all you have to do is move a little bit instead of moving all the way up here. So C, E, G, C, F, A. So the fingering, of course, 5, 3, 1 for the C chord, and then 5, 2, 1. So that's C, F, A, 5, 2, 1. So that's the new chord. So in this next piece, which I'm sure you recognize when the Saints go marching in, you're going to be using 3 different chords. So you got the C, your G7, and your C, and your F. Now, up above on page 45, they have you practicing slowly at first and then gradually increasing. I recommend that whenever I practice playing this, even though I've played it, every time I play it, I practice that part up above, which loosens up your chords so that you're And so they mention here that even though this is in 4/4 time, a lot of times they start with an uneven number. For example, in the very first measure, you have 3 beats, and it's 4/4 time. But if you look at the very last measure, there's your last beat. So it kind of balances out in its own way. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go 4 measures across with the counting, and then the fingering, and then the lettering. Okay, so so to begin with, you've got 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1 in the treble clef. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got a rest in the bass, so then it's 1, 2. It's 2, 3, 4, and then in your, now you see in the third measure your G, which is a quarter note, but you have 4 beats in the previous measure, but you don't play that again. And so it's little things like that that makes this very interesting. So anyway, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now in this very first measure in the third line down here, you have a quarter rest. So you want to make sure you have that rest in there. So it's 1 rest, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in terms of the treble clef, you've got your numbering, so 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, and that's held, and then 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1, 3, 2, and then that's held, right, your D, and then 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 4, or excuse me, in the beginning that F is held, okay, for 2 more counts, and then it goes E, or 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 2, 1. And then in your bass clef, you've got, in your second measure, you've got 3 C chords. And then in the next measure, a C chord. And then you've got 3 rests. And then again. And then 3 rests. And then rest, 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 rest. Then you go to your G7 after a rest. And then another rest for 3 beats, and then in the next measure a rest, 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 and then a half rest, and then, so that's not tied, so then your last one is 2 counts, 2 count rest, and then a quarter rest, 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 rest. Okay, so then as far as the lettering, so it goes C, E, F, G, and then your C chord, and then you've held the G, so then it goes back to C, E, F, G, holding again, and then C, E, F, G, C, E, C, 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 E, C, D, and then your G7. All that is held, and then E, D, C, C chord, C, E, G, G, F, C chord, F chord. And that's not held. And then E, F, G, C chord, E, D, G7, G7, C. Okay, so it sounds something like this. Whoops. Okay, so we're going to stop there. Hopefully, with the fingering and the lettering and everything that I'm trying to help you with in the beginning, I'm hoping it's making it easier for you. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to our next lesson together. Thank you.